Well, hello everybody, Zertek here. I'm going to review the Midas event. As some of you may know, this Midas event may be also based on the folktale story of, or short story, whatever it was, of how Midas the king touched things and they basically turned into gold. So that is why we have the gold themed weapons. I can tell you that we have 26 over the 16 weapons that we had for the Magma event. So over in this video, we're basically just going to go over what is good and why it's good. And then we're going to be comparing stats to each single weapon and basically tell you about other theories that I have with this event. So now we're going to start. We have the Shinobi and Ninjakin. The Ninjakin has better range, but also has less mobility and fire rate. I've also noticed that the Golden Shinobi actually has one more fire rate than the Magma Shinobi. That may be a visual glitch, but I have no idea. Next, we have the 4 submachine guns. We have the Buzzsaw, Maelstrom, Oni, and Tempest. The Buzzsaw basically one-hit kills, people to the head. As long as you aim well, and it has a decent fire rate. Actually, it has one of the best, actually, out of all of these right here. Buzzsaw is the best submachine gun in the game, I believe. My theory to that is just because balancing is but skipping that. Maelstrom is good, but the thing is, it's giving up the mobility just for the 4 damage over the Buzzsaw plus the accuracy and fire rate. Scope is good compared to the Buzzsaw, honestly, that's my honest opinion. And the Oni, I think this is one of the worst submachine guns that exist in Ballistic, just because of its power is just giving up too much just for all the other stats, and the bounce for the scope is just not good at all. But it is one of the only silenced weapons. If you love silenced weapons and want to give up all these stats just for that, go for it. Tempest is good as well, but we already have a video on that, and I recommend you go watch that later. And then we have the Deadeye and the Interdiction, the 2 sniper rifles we have for this event. Deadeye is semi-automatic, and we have a bolt-action rifle. The Interdiction has one of the best ranges for the game, while also having one of the highest powers for a bolt-action sniper rifle. Personally, I prefer the drone, but in some cases the Interdiction has really nice, smooth reload animations and firing animations, and sounds just generally really good. Deadeye also has the ability to kill people, but not as good as a bolt-action rifle. A semi-rifle kills usually in 2 hits if people have armor. Sometimes semi-automatic weapons can kill people in 1 hit, but that's usually if they're not tanky or have somewhat of a good health. Usually it takes about 2 shots to kill somebody. But the accuracy, you could tell, has there's really good accuracy. The accuracy basically doesn't stand for when you're scoping in, because it doesn't really affect it when you're scoping in, because usually it's going to be where you're aiming at when you're sniping, but it only affects it if you're no scoping. So next we have 5 sidearms, actually 6 if you count, no 7 if you count on these. I'm just gonna shut up about that. But we have Blackhawk. We already got one for the Christmas event, but it has some pretty good damage if you can aim, and has at least 1 more bullet than the Redemptor, but the Redemptor has red dot sight on it compared to this one, but doesn't have as good mobility. You have to know which one you want to really sacrifice, but I prefer the Blackhawk just because you can get to certain objectives faster. The heavy metal pistol, this has some pretty good fire rate and damage with it. Definitely haven't really tried this, but from what I've seen, this can be really well combined with certain weapons such as a sniper rifle. Then we have the Mammoth, worst shotgun pistol. Nope, just not good at all. Tried it, range is bad, damage isn't good enough, too much spread to the shot. No. And then we went over the Redemptor. It's some pretty solid damage when you're no-scoping with it. And then we have the Terminator, best shotgun sidearm, best range for it basically. Good damage, reloads really solidly, pretty decent ammo count for it. And then we have the Bone Breaker, which is basically a nerfed version of the Terminator. 2 bullets in it, not as good power, not as good range. Only use this if you don't have a Terminator, that kind of thing. And then we have a few shotguns here. Oh, actually before that, we're going to go on to the Hydra here. The Hydra is the only machine pistol sidearm that exists for Ballistic. Not just Golden, but just Hydra in general. This can basically kill a class with an entire clip just by body shots. Just because this has 12 bullets in it, and usually it'll get you a kill. Sometimes you get a headshot if you get lucky, that kind of thing. So now we go back to our shotguns. The Tormentor reigns supreme to all the other shotguns, while Mongoose is just slightly below it, just because it's a semi-automatic weapon. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's a fully automatic shotgun, the only fully automatic shotgun. This has the best range and damage for a shotgun, while also lacking kind of that rate of fire that all the other shotguns can have. You'll also have to manually reload this, but it's generally fast if you pick up the correct perks. And then Mongoose is really good just because it's just fully automatic. So you can usually down people as long as you are accurate with your shots. And then we have, surprisingly, a machine pistol, but it's not that good compared to the other machine pistols. So don't really recommend it, but if you could work it, work it. And you have 4 LMGs here. The Brute reigns supreme as always. Just general stats. And then all of these just don't have the stats to add up just to the Brute. And you're giving up about 30 power while only getting about 6 fire rate. So Demon and the Ripper are just bad. So I'd be sad if I got those. And then the Hooligan has good sights. It's basically like a second best kind of thing, just right below the Hooligan. I mean, just below the Brute. So that's the LMGs, and then we have the one shot, which we have every event, what I've noticed. So if you love grenade launchers through rents, be happy. If you already have one, feel sad for you. Haunter, it's good. I recommend hip firing with it. Reload solid. Thing is, it bumps up when you shoot down the sights. So be careful when using this at long ranges. Other than that, it's pretty decent. Plus the stats are pretty good too. And then we have the Interrupter. I personally don't like the Interrupter just because of the iron sights, and it's stat deficient of the other assault rifles. Now that we went over all of this, we just have the basic elite sets and advanced sets we have. And this is level 16 to 30, and this is 1 to 15. You can just get those weapons. Nothing really too special again. So basically, as an end game kind of analysis for this Midas event, is we have 26 weapons over the 16 weapons we had for the Magma event, right? So my theory for this event is that we are going to get more legendary weapons as permanents instead of elite weapons, because I saw that as a issue that I got. I think that we might be able to get more just because we have the fact that, hey, you have less of a chance to get an elite weapon, so there's more of a chance you're gonna get this instead of this. You know what I'm saying? So instead of the 35 boxes that I've opened and got like 2 permanent weapons, I'll be having more of a chance to get these instead, which actually makes me somewhat happy, but we're still gonna have the issue of getting the items of the elite set. Other than that, I'm glad you guys watched my entire video, and I hope you guys enjoy the Midas event and get a lot of points, and hopefully you don't, get any red weapons, which we all know it will happen. Thank you for watching the video. See ya.